thought I had a day off, but they called me in.
I'll put that in there if you want.
Morning, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Any announcements? Anything good happen? What's on your mind?
What's on my mind is 295 days, baby. Hey. 2 months and 5 days, I'll have a year. Then I'll be able to single and mingle and date.
You got a driver's test coming?
Is there anything positive, right? God woke me up today.
Right? That's right.
Anything that's scary?
Right, graduation tomorrow. If anybody wants to join, I'm gonna see if I will be able to attend 9 o'clock at SRC.
Anyone else?
I'm the type of person
What type
that
of
when I wake up in the morning and put my feet on the ground, the devil says, ah, shit, he's up again.
I have something to say.
Yeah, yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Yaya.
And there's a saying that closed mouths don't get fed, huh?
Right?
We have one of our people that come in here. Her name is Lucia Leon. She's Spanish speaking only. She has one story of her own to tell. She's a volunteer here, and she was referred to this program by her pastor. Miss Lucia is an immigrant, you know, was hoping to be of service and maybe, you know, make ways to pay her way, you know, here in the U.S. Miss Lucia was actually asked, she was asked to do things she wasn't wanting to do, and therefore she was asked to leave the house where she lives. She has 10 days roughly to find a place to live. I created a GoFundMe. I got a bunch of likes, but nobody's, you know, been able to help me, and I understand that times are rough, but I'd like for you guys to help me share that GoFundMe, you know, with people you might know. Ms. Lucia is looking, I put $1,000, she only needs 600. I put 1,000 so that she could have a little space and maybe start her own little business of coming and offering us lunches here, and so that way we could support her. But yeah, you know, I'll try to make my page public for a while so that you guys can go, and my name online is Yaya Perez Tapia, so go find me and please share this link, and let's show Miss Lucia some love, and that she belongs. She's somewhere safe and somewhere where we're gonna look for a way to be able to help her out right now that she no longer has a place to stay.
That's right.
Nope. All right. For Word Day, we got Andre. B. Oh.
Hold up. I didn't hear that.
I say God is good. I got 233 days today.
Okay, for Word Day, we have Andre Burke.
With great power comes great responsibility. Uncle Ben, probably.
Huh?
My word of the day is sempre. Sempre means always.
My word of the day is phi. Forever faithful.
Thursday we got Shannon.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
So this is the thought just for today. We regretted the past, dreaded the future, and sometimes we weren't too thrilled about the present. But just for today, when I live fully in each moment, I open myself up to joys that might otherwise escape me. If I am having trouble, I will ask for support from a loving God for help.
There were things I said years ago that I no longer agree with today. There were things I did years ago that I don't do anymore. No, I'm not two-faced. I simply am growing and changing, and I should be, as well as we all should be. Rock bottom will teach you lessons that mountaintops never will.
All right. Mine is, I'm at a point in my life where I no longer have expectations. I have requirements. Respect my time, match my effort, keep your word, always be honest, stay consistent. Those are my requirements, not expectations. Requirements.
Reading out of Matthew chapter 18, verse 1 through 9. At the time the disciples came to Jesus, saying, "Who then is greatest in the kingdom of heaven?" Then Jesus called a little child to him, set him in the midst of them, and said, "Assuredly, I say to you, unless you are converted and become like little children, you will be no means entering into the kingdom of heaven. Therefore, whoever humbles himself as this little child is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Whoever receives one little child like this in my name receives me. But whoever causes one of these little ones to believe in me to sin, it would be better for him to have a millstone were hung around his neck, and he were drowned in the depth of the sea. Woe to the world because of offenses, for offenses must come, but woe to that man by whom the offense comes. If your hand or foot causes you to sin, cut it off and cast it from you. It is better for you to enter into the Lamb of Man rather than having 2 hands or 2 feet to be cast into the everlasting fire. And if your eye causes you to sin, pluck it out and cast it from you. It is better for you to enter into the life with 1 eye rather than having 2 eyes to be cast into hell.
Really?
Nehemiah 4:9. It says, "We made our prayers unto God and set a watch against them day and night because of them. And we prayed to our God and set a guard as protection against them day and night. But we prayed to our God and guarded the city day and night to protect ourselves."
Okay, so I'll do Proverbs 16:32. Whoever is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he who rules his spirit than he who takes a city.
Anybody else want to take over for you?
Second Chronicles 15:7. But you, everyone here, be strong and do not let your hands be weak, for your work shall be rewarded.
Amen.
I don't see DJ over for our testimony.
Oh, he's asleep over there. Y'all need to wake him up.
DJ?
Over in the little area.
In the mezzanine?
I guess that's what it's called.
Got it, Jack?
It's testimony time.
Sunshine on my shoulders.
What's up?
He had to go to the bathroom.
DJ.
DJ.
His nerves got him.
You gonna whack?
So one is, there's this prayer by St. Francis that I've had with me for a long time, and maybe somebody might need it today. And then I got a couple of poetic pieces I'm going to share too. It says, Lord, make me an instrument of peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to console, to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, as to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive. It is in pardoning that we are pardoned. And it is in dying to the self that we are born to eternal life. I don't know why, but I grabbed a few.
What he just told you guys was the favorite song of the man that taught me that long prayer we say every day at the end of the day here. And it was a song, I remember it went, make me a channel of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow your love. And I remember it was his favorite song. And they even played it for his funeral, and they also played it for his first year anniversary of his death. It was his favorite song, and I used to play it for harmonica for our church services. So the song he just said is the favorite song of the man that started CGA.
Wow. Thank you, Artie.
And this is called relief. Preparation is never time wasted. Many of the fruits of our labor we've never tasted. When we procrastinate and wait, it's a clear sign of self-hate. Denial of the flesh will produce strength in the midst of the test. This is the time to struggle and strive, not a time to rest. So hear me loud and clear. Satan will attempt to use all types of fear. Just remember that his bark is always worse than his bite. Don't give up or give in, no matter how unfair the fight. Help will be there before you know it, to share and to care. And it'll come from just about everywhere. God is in control of it all in the end, so pursue him as your overall friend. Stay flexible, but don't you dare bend. When trials come trying to break you down, remember, you're never alone, so dust yourself off and get up off the ground. If you were to quit and give up today, who's to say that tomorrow things weren't going to finally turn your way? So dig deep, but don't pursue ease. Yet for now, just sit still and breathe.
How's everybody doing today? For those that know me, my name's Daryl. You know, my friends call me DJ. Where do I start off? Childhood. I came from a very abusive home. I had a good mother. She was always there for me. She was also a father at times. I was beaten a lot. Don't know why. I was 6, I was molested by my teacher, male teacher. I never told nobody about it. Hell, I didn't even know what the hell was going on. Just a kid. Since that happened, afterwards I started lashing out at school. Nobody knew what was going on for as long as it did. Whole year of that shit. My mother thought everything was all cool and stuff, inviting dude to the house and stuff. But little did she know that he was over there touching me, making me do shit. Excuse my language, but it bothers me. My bad, Joe. Anyway, as I got older, I started thinking something was wrong with me. So I didn't know what the hell was going on. I wanted to tell somebody, but I couldn't. I didn't have a voice. Yeah, I didn't know whether or not I'd get in trouble for it. I remember the teacher threatening me, saying that I'd go to jail if I told that he was touching me and shit. You know, as a child, of course you're gonna get scared. Started fighting a lot at school as I got older, getting in trouble. I even ran away. Ran away and hid. There wasn't the molesting going on, I was getting beat at home. I had a lot of friends growing up, though. A lot of good people that I could turn to. And they helped me through it. I had a father, you know what I'm saying, who was there, but wasn't there. I don't want to knock him for anything, but yeah. I got bullied a lot at school. You know, I'd go to school with bruises and shit all over me, get made fun of, then get beat up at school. I was timid. I didn't like confrontation much. But that changed. I started kicking it with a different type of crowd. You know, the gangsters. I wanted to roll with somebody that was tough, people who would have my back and teach me something. So I started hanging out with the Crips. And we grew up all around them. They brought me in. They taught me how to fight, to defend myself, to stand up. I did a lot of stuff, you know what I'm saying, to prove myself. After that, my mother knew that there was a problem. I started not caring about people that I was hurting. It's like, for so long, being hurt, all that pain and stuff that I went through, I wanted to unleash it on others, but it was nobody else's fault. I went through what I went through. It happened. I should have never lashed out on others that didn't deserve that. It progressed in my adulthood. I started using drugs, drinking first. Drinking, but man, that's the devil's juice. When I drink, it's bad. I was always fighting. Always fighting. Come home with blood-soaked shirts. You know what I'm saying? Mother would be like, "What happened?" Fuck somebody up. Excuse my language. I wasn't proud of it, but at the time, it felt good. You know, for all the pain and stuff that I went through, and when I finally was able to defend myself, it felt good to do that. Now all of that, I done seen a whole bunch of stuff. I done seen friends get killed. I done got shot, stabbed. I don't know if y'all heard about that one. Yeah. I never really could live my life like sober. I always had to use something to just numb the pain. It worked for a little bit, but then reality set back in after it wore off. My relationships were shit. I didn't really know what love was. I was actually a womanizer. I was a player. I just, you know what I'm saying? I couldn't really express like real love to somebody. That was up until I met my wife. This one hurts. I met the most beautiful soul. She was everything to me. The only person that held me down for so many years throughout so much bullshit that I went through. And because of my addiction, I messed it all up. You know what's funny? It's funny how we take certain things for granted. And then when you lose it, shit hurts. She gave me 3 beautiful children. Leilani, Kiani, and Anaya. Oh man, I love them so much. My family. I always had thoughts of getting clean and stuff to wipe my addiction. It was always in the back of my mind. Every time I would be like, yeah, baby, I'm gonna get clean. Yeah, I'm gonna stop doing this. Yeah, I'm gonna stop mistreating you. It would last only for so long and then I'd relapse again. Everything would come back to haunt me again and I'll start right back up. It's like all my demons and stuff started coming back and shit. I was really violent. Shit, anybody that even looked at her, I would flash. It got to the point where I was so stuck on just getting high to numb the pain that I was feeling, but I wasn't thinking about how they was feeling. I never thought about how they felt every time I got high. And then with them seizures and stuff, oh my gosh. I got put on life support like more than once. Flatline like twice. And I still didn't get it through my big ass head to stop. I'm not perfect. I'm not the best man in the world. But I've grown a lot. I've changed tremendously. If she could see that, the actual change in me, I don't know, maybe she'd give me another chance. And if not, hey, at least she knows that I've changed. I could be a better father to the kids. That's all I got.
Thank you, Daryl, for sharing. It's good to see you here. You know, it's really saying it's never too late for us to change. You know, it's never too late for us to get a chance to turn things around. As long as we got breath in our body, there's a chance for us to turn some things around, you know. And so, right, what classes we got today, Michelle?
30 and CGA for the men who are not invited to yoga. And then at 11, we were going to have our second class of domestic violence with John. John's not gonna be able to be here this morning, so we're gonna come up with something else for 11. And then this afternoon, excuse me, we have AA, and art therapy. And then after that, I will be holding our second session of meditation in the Zen room at 3. And I just wanted to clarify for everyone that this is not a mandatory class that you all attend. It's an option, an opportunity to come and learn how to meditate or to learn to deepen your practice with meditation. But we don't want people there that don't want to be there. So, it's not a place to come and nap or sit and quietly check your phone. Just come if you want to be there, and there's no judgment in any way, any part. It's an opportunity.
So our special guest just arrived.
Hi.
So I want y'all to meet Adrian Martinez. She wasn't expecting this.
No,
She didn't
I
expect this at all. She's ready. Stay ready. So I want y'all to meet Adrian Martinez.
She is one of our parole agents for Stanislaus County, and probably a few of y'all are agents, right? But, sometimes when we think about being on parole, we think about this person that's gonna be against us, that's trying to hunt us down. But y'all see my boy Steve up there on that wall? The person who brought Steve to me to try to save him was Agent Martinez, right? And that's that doesn't happen that often. But that's the type of agent person, human that she is, right? You want to say a few things?
Oh, I just want to thank Michael for everything that he's helped with me bringing stuff to the people I supervise. He's made a lot of things possible for everybody here, and parole, we're really appreciative of everything that you bring to the community for us. But thank you.
Awesome. She's she wasn't expecting this, y'all. Thank you, Agent Martinez. Really a good human being, and when you have the opportunity, a lot of times, we have these automatic ways stigmas that we place on people, and automatic stigmas have been placed on us. So when we see a parole agent, we automatically assume this is going to be somebody that's against me. This is somebody that's working against me. But I was on parole when she was bringing parolees to me, people that was on her caseload. And so it can happen for any of us. And we don't want to judge people just like we don't want to be judged, right? And if we need to be held accountable, we want to accept being held accountable. The best thing is to control yourself so that nobody else has to control you, right? When we learn what the parameters are, stick to them. Stick to them and show somebody how tightly you can walk the parameters. And they will ease up, and that world, that box that we talk about will expand, right? I'm gonna share one more piece with y'all before I shut up and give it back to Joseph. How's Joseph doing?
Good.
Can y'all hear it? Can y'all hear him? Is he talking with his chest? Is he talking with his chest? Is he talking with your chest? All right. Yeah, he do. Y'all ain't seen him up in there working out? Joseph, you gotta show him what you're working with. All right? Show him, Joseph.
Let's see, Joseph. Show him what?
What you got?
You got a growl. What's up?
You got a growl. How many push-ups can you do, Joseph? All right, you good, you good. Don't show off. Don't show off. Don't embarrass him. All right, you're gonna embarrass him. Right. So this one, I've shared it before, but this one is one that I think that we all can relate to. It's called Satan, the God of addiction. Right? I mean, I really want you to hear that. Like a lot of times we mention God or a higher power. Just know that when we surrender to addiction, we're surrendering to our God. And Satan is the God of addiction. I was born pure and full of innocence until trauma caused me to change my stance. Satan came and he stood next to me, whispering in my ear that he'd make me free, that he knew the key, so I took that sip of whiskey. I drank it, until I couldn't see this demon standing next to me. He had jumped inside, and he found himself a comfy place to hide. He distorted my stride, and dysfunctional people I learned to confide. A mask they helped me to build. A gun they taught me to wield. Anger became my shield. My feet, legs, and arms taken over by Satan's charms. I couldn't even hear the alarms. My eyes were wide open, but I was closed to the signs, spending most of the day snorting lines, giving away this soul of mine, prostrating myself to powdered shrines. Eventually, he got bolder, and he demanded what was on my shoulder. I made me colder, becoming an ignorant soldier. In conclusion, he sold me one final illusion, a delusion of my own choosing. My whole self I would end up losing. The end came when he finally owned my heart. Some thought that it was just a start. Sticking a syringe into my vein, insane, the pain that I would gain because I wouldn't verbalize my shame. So I wrote that because when I was incarcerated, I could help a lot of people, but I didn't have a lot of people that I could actually go to and talk to. Because when I went to people that I was helping, if I went to them with my stuff, they would stop working on their stuff and they would try to help me. And I knew that I was further along than they was and that they needed my help. And so I found poetry. I didn't even know that I could write. And I found poetry and I found the art of expression. And when I think about that particular poem, I didn't talk to people about my shame. And as a result, I looked for things outside of me to cope with my shame. And it started with whiskey. And I knew I was being whispered in my ear to drink it, that it was gonna make me feel better. And once I drank it, I couldn't hear the whisper anymore, right? It was more intimate. It was almost like he was outside of me until I drank it. Once I drank it, he was inside. And at each stage, he got bolder and bolder, taking more and more of me. Like, first he asked, and then he demanded, and then he punked me. Well, I didn't get a choice. And I was prostrating myself to this God, and he's the God of addiction. And so really what we do in here is we try to dismantle his kingdom. We try to war against his kingdom, which wages war. And war is not always pretty. War is brutal. War is in your face. It's gut-wrenching. Like, some things you gotta face, some things you just gotta do in war. Like, you know, if you ever meet, like, anybody in here a veteran? Or yeah. You know, I have a lot of friends that I've done a lot of time with who were veterans, and I became curious about their training. Because I used to want to be in the Marines. When I was 16, that's what I wanted to do. And I had even went to the weekend boot camp where they take you as a teenager and, you know, and you get a chance to do all of the exams, and only thing I needed to do was bring them a high school diploma. And I walked away from high school with 3 weeks left till graduation. I just quit. Part of me was self-sabotaging. But as I went to prison, I got a chance to get some of that education, right? And some of that information. And I learned a lot about, like, their tactics, how they survive. You know, when you in the field, you can't afford to sneeze like you normally sneeze, especially, so you learn how to process a sneeze differently. You can't say "achoo," right? If you in the field, and if you in the jungle and you having to battle with somebody, there's a different way that you can control your body. There's a different way that we can do a lot of things. Like, you can make your body to where you don't have to, like, urinate or defecate as often as you normally do. And when you do it a little bit differently, right? And so when I think about what we're doing in here, it's so important for us to be willing to do some things a little bit differently than what our mind is telling us to do. Like sometimes our mind will tell us, you can't trust nobody, don't talk about that. You know, that's gonna go all bad. And sometimes we have to be willing to do something different. Like, test it out, talk about it. Like, try it, you know? Try it. Like the worst thing that you can think about. Like, find somebody and tell them. Like today, really, this is a challenge. I double dog dare you, right? To find somebody in this room today, somebody in this building today, and tell them something that you ain't never told a soul. Or tell them something that you have always thought that somebody's gonna judge you when they hear about that. Find somebody. And if you're chosen as that somebody, I double dog dare you to keep it to yourself. Don't let it come out of your mouth again. Like really find that thing. We all got something. And find somebody that you share it with. And the thing is that you already know who you can share it with. Right now in your mind, you know the person that already popped up in your head. And don't try to find somebody that's your lover or that's somebody that you like, because sometimes we'll use those as manipulation tactics to draw them in closer, right? Because sometimes we just have that about us. So don't give it to your lover. Give it to somebody else.